Hey everyone, I know it's a little late to be saying Happy New Year, but I had some computers at the start of this year. You probably noticed I took a couple weeks break. That wasn't really planned. Was having some issues with my hard drives not recognizing my computer, and so I couldn't access any of the stuff I'd filmed, and I couldn't edit, and I didn't have my templates, and basically it's just kind of shut down until I could get that all sorted. But it's sorted now, so Happy New Year. I wanted to make this video and kind of share my plans for 2023. But before we jump into that, actually, I want to say thank you to all of you guys who subscribed over the last year, or maybe you subscribed, 10 years ago when I got on YouTube. I know my channel's taken quite a few shifts in the direction of content. That wasn't necessarily by design. It's just because I have a lot of different interests, and I try to incorporate the things that make me happy into videos, and if you guys enjoy the videos, then that's just a bonus for me. But I also try to lean into the things that you guys are enjoying. So I know at the start of last year, I actually said I was going to try to move away from doing reactions. I'd never really intended to put reactions on my channel. But if you noticed, the majority of the content I put out last year was in fact reactions. And it's helping me to grow my channel and garner a strong audience. So I'm not going to go away from doing reactions. In fact, I'm probably going to do even more this year than I did last year. I'm going to continue doing the Harry Mack reactions. So if you guys found me because of those, don't worry. There's plenty of Harry Mack reactions I can do. There's tons of videos that he's put out. He never stops putting them out, which means I have an endless supply of videos to react to. I'm going to continue introducing the American React series, which I've done a handful of those, I think maybe 10 to 20, give or take, where I'm going through different countries. So right now, or I have been focusing on England, Britain, London, and reacting to a bunch of content there, really more so I can kind of learn about that country as much as I can. And I've got about 10 or 12 countries lined up that I'm going to be doing that with. But if you have a country that you think I should react to, then, by all means, tell me in the comments so I can start putting that stuff on my list. Aside from reactions, so another big focus I've always wanted to have on my channel is travel. And if you've been around for a while, you probably know a few years ago, I sold my house, sold the majority of the stuff I owned, and I was going to travel full time. And then, COVID came along, and you know the story there. So those plans fell through, lost my job, everything complete 180 from what I wanted to do. But, all in all, it's still a good outcome. So I'm still going to travel when I can. I actually did a fair amount of traveling last year. I did a cruise, shot a lot of video with the intentions of taking it all and turning it into videos for my channel. And the reaction videos just consumed all my time when it came to editing. So those kind of got put on the back burner, which sucks because I got some really cool content. And I'm probably still going to edit those, even though it's, coming up on a year later, because that was in April of last year. I still really want to release those videos. So you'll probably see those coming soon, as well as any other travel that I do throughout this year. Something else I'm going to be introducing to my channel is kind of like a food segment or food series. And it's going to be not necessarily cooking, and I don't want to give away too much. Not that it's a surprise or anything, but I want to get the content created before I kind of give away too much of what I'm doing. But it's going to be fun content. And so I think you guys will like it, hopefully. And yeah, so you'll start to see some food stuff showing up on my channel, so don't be surprised. Last year, I also did, I started a podcast, and I only got about 9 episodes in, which isn't too bad, but really I wanted to put out about 20 episodes a year. And one of the challenges I have is coordinating for people to actually come through and show up and film. So shout out to all of you who have come through so far, who have come on my podcast and sat down here with me and filmed. I really appreciate your time. It means a lot to me. But yeah, like when it comes to coordinating with guests and such, it's always a bit more challenging to get people to follow through, or just finding a time that works. for both of us. And that also kind of goes back to kind of like the Harry Mack reactions too. I know that you guys really enjoy seeing first time reactors, and those videos as far as reactions go to Harry Mack are much more successful than just me reacting. But I can't always just get people lined up. If I could, I would. If I had a list of people that are willing to join me on video, I would have them here every day filming. So yeah. I'm going to also be focusing on a lot of local Houston content. I've lived in Houston my entire life. I think our city is kind of, it doesn't get the credit it deserves, I think. You know, it's like, yeah, we're a concrete jungle, lots of freeways and lots of shopping strips and you know, commercial buildings, but there really is a lot of cool stuff here to do, and kind of leans into some of the food content I want to do as well. We have more places that you can eat here than anywhere I've ever been. All kinds of foods, all kinds of different nationalities of foods. Anything you can think of, it's pretty much available here. And so we have a huge food scene, but most people outside of Houston, unless you're really like a restaurateur or something like that, restaurateur or something, you don't really know about it. So I kind of want to put some emphasis and focus on that. So that's part of the food content. That's not all of it, but that's part of it. But also local venues in Houston, the art scene, unique parks we have, the breweries, the distilleries, like there's nightlife, well, not so much as nightlife, but maybe some of the venues, the music scene. There's a lot to see and do here. And so I really want to share that with people. And especially, you know, if you're here in Houston and you don't know about some of this stuff, you might enjoy it as well. Puzzles is another kind of funny one that it kind of was never really intended to be on my channel. Just kind of like reactions were never really intended to be on my channel. I did a puzzle as part of like a bucket list item a few years back, and that video ended up getting way more views than I thought it would. And then COVID hit again. Like I said, COVID happened, and I had started doing puzzles just for fun. And then I started going ahead and filming those puzzles and doing reviews of the puzzle brands. And then before I knew it, puzzle companies were reaching out to me and sending me puzzles. So you can see back there, that whole thing back there is just loaded. I've probably got like 100 puzzles stacked up around here. And for me, puzzles are actually, they're kind of therapeutic. I enjoy doing puzzles since I do spend so much of my time behind a computer, behind a camera, or in front of a camera. Puzzles is a nice way for me to kind of like just get away from all of the digital stuff and relax. Now, I generally do have movies or TV series or music playing out of view while I'm doing the puzzle, but like I'm barely kind of paying attention to whatever's going on with that, and most of my attention is on the puzzle. And it also just kind of like lets me clear my mind and stop being so overwhelmed with all the different things and ideas that are going in my head for content creation. So yeah, so I enjoy the puzzles. I put out quite a few puzzle videos last year. I think I was doing nearly one a week, sometimes more than one a week. I don't know what my regular rotation is going to be for puzzles just yet, but it'll still be pretty consistent. So if you're here for the puzzles, don't worry, they're not going away. They'll still be coming to my channel pretty regularly. Photography, man, wow. So like when I first started YouTube, I initially just got an account because in order to watch videos back then, you kind of had to have an account so you could watch the videos, at least if I'm remembering that correctly. And so I created a YouTube account. I think 2009 is when I started it, but I didn't start putting videos on my channel till a couple years later. And it was kind of like behind the scenes look of my photography. So if you're not aware, yes, I do photography. You can go check out mmpstudios.com. And you can see some of the stuff I've shot. And outside of what I have there, because that's mostly focused on shooting with models and things like that, in the last year or so, since I've been living in downtown for nearly 2 years, I've been doing a lot of like, I don't really want to call it street photography, but more like just kind of taking in downtown, you know, photographing the buildings and and the unique, you know, I just love the architecture. I like, you know, showing my city. So I've been shooting a lot of that, and I will probably start doing some videos kind of around some of that, but I really want to get back to shooting with models again. And showing kind of behind the scenes of that. So sometimes it might be in studio, sometimes it might be us hitting the streets and shooting around town. I would like to possibly do photo shoot challenges with local photographers. So yeah, so I really want to get back to doing some photography stuff on my YouTube channel again. I don't think it's going to be a huge part of my channel, but I do want to have content on that coming out somewhat regularly, at least, you know, once or twice a month if I can. Something else I'm going to start adding to my channel as well is kind of how-tos, tips, tricks, and hacks. And those are really going to focus mostly on kind of like anything revolving around content creation, marketing, SEO, digital marketing, products that you can use or how to use the products, and basically different ways that you can leverage all of these products to grow your audience or reach the right people, or just even how to simply use the tools in general if you don't know how to use them. So the reason I'm creating that content is, if you don't know, for 10 to 12 years, 13 years, somewhere around there, we're in 23, so yeah, around 09 or 10, somewhere around there. That's when I kind of started getting into content creation, digital marketing, social media, and all of that stuff. And I've been doing that professionally for, you know, 10, 12 years or more. And by day, I run a marketing department for a mortgage company. That's like my bread and butter. That's my main job. That's what I do. Like, you know, that's what allows me to live the way I do and to buy all this, you know, stuff to use for my YouTube channel. So yeah, that's not going away at all. You know, like that's my main focus, is that job. But outside of that, you know, there's other friends and family and people I know that are in different industries that I help all the time with social media and websites and coming up with marketing campaigns. And after a while, I start to realize that like I'm teaching the same stuff over and over and over and over again. And it might be more beneficial if I could just take a lot of the stuff that I'm teaching them and put it in video format, and maybe it'll reach even more people that will find it useful. So I'm going to be doing probably quite a lot of that type of content. So maybe you guys will like it, maybe you won't. You know, my main thing I want to get across to everybody is, like, I know my channel is probably more diverse than others, and they always try to tell you niche down, niche down, niche down. My thing is, you know, at some point I would like to turn a profit on YouTube. Right now I'm like nowhere near profit, because the amount of money I've sunk into equipment far outweighs anything I've made off of YouTube. But if I niche down and created a different YouTube channel for everything I want to create content for, I would never make any money. Like, never. Because I would have to build up an audience for each different thing. And I really believe that you don't have to have a channel about just a single thing, because just like I like a lot of different things, I'm sure that a lot of you guys, my viewers, also like a lot of different things. So I don't expect everybody to watch every single video. I just hope that you continue watching the videos on my channel that you like. So if you're here for reactions, then watch the reactions. If you're here for the puzzles, watch the puzzles. If you also happen to like puzzles and reactions, then hey, watch them, you know? But yeah, so there is going to be a lot of different types of content on my channel. Hopefully that doesn't cause any issues. I hope you guys appreciate the content I'm putting out. And like I said, just watch the stuff you want to watch. If there's stuff that comes out you're not interested in, no big deal. My apologies. I'm kind of looking at some of my notes because this is a lot to cover in a single video. One of the other things that I've actually been working on behind the scenes for a while now, for quite a while, is doing a complete overhaul of my merch site. Now, originally I was doing Teespring, and then Teespring decided to turn into Spring. And when they did that, they caused a whole lot of issues. My store was down for a long period of time. A lot of the merch I had developed and created on their site was gone, and using their builder to create your merch, it's like, it's a very long and tedious process. And so I was really just kind of frustrated. I didn't want to have to sit there and remake everything all over again. And yeah, it just wasn't a very good experience. In the meantime, I ended up finding, I don't remember if I found Spreadshirt first or I found Redbubble first. But then I tried Redbubble, and it's got some cool products, but I'm not like, I don't like the platform very much. I don't like the way it visually looks. I don't like the way it breaks down. Some of, like, my merch is mostly going to be wearable stuff like t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and stuff like that, but also, you know, maybe coffee mugs and tumblers and you know, bags. There'll be other things, but since I do puzzles, I was also kind of trying to find a solid company to do puzzles, and so I did one through Redbubble. And when I received the puzzle, man, it was probably one of the worst quality puzzles I've ever purchased, and it was expensive on top of that. It was literally like almost paper thin pieces, and it was shiny, like photograph shiny. And so they're super thin, and when you're trying to pick them up and they like stick to you, the reflection, the glare was bad. It's just really, really poor quality for puzzles. So I was like, well, this isn't a win situation for me. So I don't really, you know, if I'm not even happy with the merch, how can I expect my viewers to be happy with the merch? And I wouldn't want to sell that, right? So I tried Spreadshirt. I think they have both now. I think it started off as Spreadshirt, not Spreadshop. Anyways, they have a pretty good interface. They have a lot of products available. But same thing, I took a pretty good amount of time building it all out, released it, and I wasn't really getting much traction. I don't like the, I want a site, I build sites, you know, I do WordPress sites. I've been doing that for a long time, and I specialize in SEO. And with these other sites, you can't really do that. So like trying to get traffic there to the merchandise and get it in front of eyes, maybe outside of my YouTube audience, it's just not very, you just can't do it, you know? So my goal was to launch a WordPress website, which is what I'm doing. And I know this, I didn't mean to go so in depth on this, but basically it's because I've been really working on this for a long time. But I'm basically doing a WordPress interface with Shopify, Printful, and Printify. So two different merch shops that'll plug in. I'm still trying to seek out a solid print on demand for Canvas. I can't remember if it's Printify or Printable. One of them does Printful. One of them does do Canvas, but again, it comes down to quality, and it just doesn't look like it's gonna be the right fit for me. But you know, I'm gonna have to order some test products and see. If you guys know anybody that does custom puzzles, print on demand, custom canvas, print on demand, and it can plug into a shop, please, by all means, tell me in the comments, because those are two key items I really want to add to my shop. But anyways, let's move on. I really didn't mean to even talk about this for so long, but it's just that I've been spending so much time and energy to get this merch shop up and running. I think you guys will like the merch that I'm working on. So once that launches, hopefully you guys will pick some of it up, help support me so I can continue to grow my channel and continue to invest in the equipment I need to keep my channel up and running. Yeah, and that's mostly it. Oh, one of the other things I wanted to mention is, so all these different things I mentioned, you know, the photography, the food stuff, photo shoots, podcast, travel, like literally anything. If you're in the Houston area, or you come to Houston on a regular basis, or you're going to even be coming through Houston just for whatever reason, and you're here for a few days, if you want to work with me and be in some of my videos, you want to do some content with me, or if you're another YouTuber and you want to collab, hit me up, man. Like, you can find me pretty much anywhere on social media at Melvin Maya, just my first and last name. Shoot me an email, shoot me a message, comment on something. Let's connect. I want to get as many people involved that are interested in being involved. So if that's something you're interested in, if you want to be in my videos, you want to participate in some of it, by all means, hit me up and we'll figure it out. And yeah, that's about it. I think that is about it. Oh, I can't end a video without telling you guys to subscribe, right? So before I jump straight into that, my goal for last year was 20,000 subscribers, and I didn't quite hit my goal. I hit around, I think I got 17,000 before the end of the year. I can't remember exactly when I hit 17,000. So that's pretty much, I'm 3,000 short. I didn't have a solid year of YouTube last year. You know, I had a late start at the beginning of the year, and then once I started putting content out regularly, which was my plan all along, I saw the growth. So I feel like if I would have had that work ethic for the entire year, I probably would have hit that 20,000 mark. I'm setting an even bigger goal for myself for this year, and it's a pretty dang big goal, but I do really believe that it's achievable as long as I continue putting out content and sticking to what I'm trying to do. So my goal is 100,000 subscribers. I'm currently at 17,200, or just shy of 17,200. I think 17,100 and something, 164, 167, something like that. So yeah, I still got quite a ways to go before I even hit that 20,000 mark, which was last year's goal. So yeah, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. If you think you have friends and family that might like my content, you know, share my videos, send it over to them, repost them wherever you're at on social media. If you truly enjoy my content, please help me to grow my channel, because ultimately I would love to do YouTube full time. Right now it's a side gig, but it takes time to get there, and yeah, I want to be able to do it. So I'm kind of rambling at this point. Oh, I almost forgot. Man, I keep forgetting because there's so much stuff I wanted to cover. So mostly I wanted to talk about in this video was my plans for YouTube. And then I also wanted to talk about my merch, which I did. But I wanted to just briefly touch on the fact that I've got about 2 or 3 different websites that are mine. So I'm not going to talk about those right now just because it's too much. I know this video is already getting long. But I'll put all those links to those websites in the description below. I'll also have links to all my social media. So you guys reach out whatever platforms you're on. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Reddit. Wherever you're at, I'm there too. So make sure to follow me on those platforms as well. And I think that's about it. Like I think that is about it. So yeah, if you're not already subscribed here, click that subscribe, hit the bell so you'll get notified every time I upload a new video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Later.